Hello everyone, today in this video we will fight against the atmospheric of our world around us and we will think about one creepy and stupid idea of European political business elites, no longer political and cultural elites, because to be cultural elite one needs to be able to create something and later develop it and create something new, something valuable, something that can be transferred to further generations. Nowadays, political business elites in the majority of countries around the world are not able to create anything useful. They are only interested in making money from nothing or making great marketing on a massive scale, forcing people to buy or take products they produce, but these products are neither useful nor helpful nor healthy. Like we were actually tamed for the last 2 years by pharma companies, and many people were forced to take their products they invented for officially very serious and severe disease, and many people who refused to taste these elixirs, these products, were punished and very often removed from the professional path. They had to change the job and so on and so on. So we live in such days when the ruling elite is the business political elite, not cultural political elite anymore. And one thing that needs to be mentioned, I mentioned it in the movies of my channel, in the previous movies, in Polish either or in English, that we had red socialism already, we had brown socialism, and now we have green socialism. And green socialism also flourished in the North America, mainly in Canada, but also in the East Coast and West Coast of United States. But green socialism in its, I would say, greenest form flourish nowadays in the Western European countries. And people who are responsible for that, this political business elite, thinks about creation of European army. Why does European Union need an army? It's a good question. And when you ask this question to the representatives of this business political elite of modern Western Europe, they are actually not able to give you a realistic, concrete answer. They are saying something about collective safety, something about quick reactions, on what, and other blah blah. But what's the reality behind it? I will try to tell it now within this movie, because one should look into conditions of the Western European society. So the thing is simple. These societies for the last 3, sometimes soon 4 generations are completely spoiled, demographically down, and youngsters are not willing to do any serious job, especially physical job, so they are even less eager to fight and sacrifice their life for something materialistic like homeland, their houses. So they are even much less eager to sacrifice their life for empty words of any ideology. And the same one can say about numerous young ones, representatives of immigrants that comes from all around the world, who are coming to Western European countries because in vast majority they are the amateurs of the social welfare that is offered to them on the cost of the societies of the Western countries within the framework of the welfare state that it's still, with many difficulties, more and more richer, but it's still ongoing social model of the state in the Western Europe. Okay, so why do European countries of the European Union, would need a common European military units? Because now we see that many countries like Northern American, Asian, even African, Northern African, Central African, are really strong in the militaristic terms, even Ethiopia. So this army for sure wouldn't be the army of conquest. So what would be the purpose of this army? So now let the case of Hungary in 1956 be the case for us and be the example, an explanation what's the real purpose for the political business elite of modern leftist European Union to have the European army. First of all, to be independent from NATO, so from US, and to have a tool to suppress the countries which populations would like to leave the neo-Marxist paradise of the green socialism, so European Union. So just convince them, so this army would be a tool to convince these nations that it's not worth leaving the paradise of green socialism. So these European forces would be used to suppress the rebellion in quotation in these countries against the green socialistic paradise that has its headquarters formally in Brussels and Strasbourg, but practically in Berlin. So it would be a tool used, military units used exactly in the same way as Soviet used for the pacification of Hungary in 1956. Because one needs to also notice that many nations that were previously colonized, like India, Africa, Asia, also some Eastern European countries like Russia, are too strong to be colonized for the current Western European states. So the countries that are being economically exploited in a really brutal way are the smaller countries of European Union. So you cannot exploit all the time. You cannot exploit all the time without the consequences. So such army, in the idea of these political business elites of modern European Union, would be a useful tool, just in case, to suppress the rebellion against such exploitation of small countries within European Union by larger countries. I wouldn't even say colonialism, because colonialism was not only bad, because colonialism was also bringing progress and civilization. Of course, there was some exploitation, so there were good and bad parts. I do not want to put any bronze monuments to colonialism, but this colonialism, what would be introduced within European Union if the European army would be formed, would be also a form of exploitation of weaker ones by the stronger ones within the European Union in the name of LGBT whatever and other pseudo ideologies of green socialism, but in practice it would be only a tool to keep small countries and small nations under the shoe of bigger ones and keep them exploited, to allow spoiled and degenerated societies that are living on the social welfare of the stronger Western country to die peacefully in the last days of their comfort that they enjoy in quotation within the social state of green socialism. All the best, have a nice day, and I hope that I convince you why the idea of common European army wouldn't be useful, that it wouldn't be the army of conquest, it would be the army of suppression and oppression of weaker countries that would be designed to be exploited by stronger neighbors. All the best, bye.